See that? What amazing piece of walnut wood. Just perfect for my next mission wood project. But the format is far too narrow. I could maybe stretch it? Oh, that went well. I hope you do not really believe that there's a trick about wood stretching. Bending, yes, but not stretching. But what is the problem here at all? Most of the boards out of the sawmill are long but not wide. But the furniture projects often require boards that are wide instead of being long. So to convert a stack of narrow pieces of wood into a wide board for furniture building, there are in fact some tricks, especially when you do not have access to professional machines. So in this video I will show you my everyday method to produce the perfect natural wood board for furniture building. It is the low-tech version to substitute machines with know-how and some tricks. Because as you know, my workshop is just a corner of a normal double garage, equipped with some hand tools. And if you are interested, keep on watching. And if not, doesn't matter, stay here. If you're a professional or skilled woodworker, dealing with solid wood board might be your daily business. But as good as solid wood looks, there are some downsides besides the very high price. The boards do not come in the required sizes. They match to the tree they are cut from, but not to the dimension of your actual project. Next, when drying, the boards will warp and bend. And finally, natural wood has defects that might be considered as natural and even be exposed, or you want to hide them in your furniture. So before starting with the actual furniture, you first need to build your own furniture panels. And that is what we are starting with. For my next project I need two boards 40 by 130 centimeters dimension. And that is what is available. 4 boards 15 by 2.4 meters. So let's get rolling and do some woodworking. Again, it all starts with, no, not cutting, not this time. There's something which is really important and needs to have planning ahead, far ahead. The wood from the shop needs to settle to the climate of your workshop. You want to give the boards some free air and stack them up with some distance between them. Leave them in this condition at least for some weeks. The boards will relax and settle to their natural condition according to present temperature and humidity. Okay, now we made it. Next is cutting the boards to the rough dimensions with a reserve of at least 2 centimeters or an inch. But don't rush in like crazy. Before firing up the track saw, there are some important decisions to be made. What piece matches to which neighbor? This needs in-depth planning. You want to care about grain direction, wood color, defect areas that need to be cut out, or the decision about outside and inside surfaces. You sometimes can hide minor defects in the interior of the furniture. What I like to do is marking the wood with blue tape and a position code to the different parts of the rough boards prior to the actual cutting. Okay, now it's time for cutting. See, that is speed. And here's the result. The boards sorted as planned before. And at this stage you'd like to look at the wood matching as described. And as you realize, the gaps between the boards is what needs to be fixed next. And again, there's a trick to go around the imprecision of all saws. The cut would need to see a perfect 90-degree angle. And if the saw only deviates by 1 degree, you would see a gap, or even worse, the glued boards would produce a bend. The trick is to cut the first half from the top and the other half from the bottom. The angular deviations are exaggerated, but here you see that the deviations are equalizing themselves as a pair. The straightness of the cut is guaranteed by the track, at least if the saw is adjusted properly. Okay, again, for you just a matter of seconds. Okay, that was fast. Oh no, not really. But here you see the boards ready for the preparation of the biscuit joints and the gluing. The boards will not only be connected with glue. This would not be strong enough, and more important, cannot guarantee a long-lasting bond in this application. Natural wood has the tendency to fluctuate in volume, and therefore the single parts need to have a very strong connection between them. The plate or biscuit joint are perfect for this application. I have a full video about this connection technique. I will link it below in the details. I will proceed marking the joining spots on each partner and mill the pockets with a joiner. And that is what the prepared biscuit joint look like. Like always, no gluing without a dry fit, just in order to make sure that there are no unexpected surprises during the gluing. Okay, all seems perfect, so let's proceed with the gluing. Important is a constant pressure from the clamps on every spot along the connection line, and that not even the middle boards do lift under the pressure of the clamps. That first panel went pretty well. The gaps are fairly tight and the panel is nearly straight and flat in all directions. There's a remaining deviation which finally needs to be corrected with the next and last step, the planing. There are several possibilities to plane a board. 1. Using a professional planer which has at least the width of your board. If you have a professional carpenter around, this is where you want to go. 2. Planing with a hand planer, or better with several hand planers, for rough and for fine planing. This is the handcrafting and scissors method, which requires quite some skills. If you plan to do this kind of work more frequently, then you're probably good to go for it. At least if you enjoy to focus on pure handcrafting. 3. There are high-level woodworkers around who build their own planing machines with a 2-axis slider and a hand router. This is probably only an option if you have a huge project or do this kind of job more frequently, or if the boards are too huge that not even the professional machines from the carpenter around the corner are big enough. 4. Last and my low-tech approach is the hand planing method by using an orbital sander with a very low grit instead of the hand planer. This is in fact a workaround because none of the previously mentioned options do apply for me. So that is the one tool of my choice. The other one is, yes, right, the sanding block. There's a certain technique that is used in hand planing and can be applied here too. Use a ruler or a straight strip or rail to detect any high spot of the board. Then mark these areas and sand them off. Repeat this step until the surface is really plain. Okay, that already looks promising. Let's have a closer look. In any case, you need to make sure you have at least a minimum protection and a good ventilation. So no real magic, but a little bit of handcrafting to produce this nice white board out of some raw pieces of wood. What I did not tell you is that the longer the boards are, the more borderline my method will be. The track is not 100% straight, which can result in gaps between the boards. So for bigger projects you really need to use a table saw. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video and found some inspiration for your own build, and maybe the one or the other trick that you did not know so far. And if you'd liked it, please give me a thumb up and maybe you consider subscribing too. One last thing. The boards will be used for my next mission wood project, a high cabinet for my office, matching to the drawer unit out of the last video. So another reason to stay tuned.